The Gulf was calm, blue waters, routine traffic, nothing unusual, and then, like lightning out of clear sky, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, they made their move. One tanker, one sudden interception, and the whole world started paying attention. Well, the oil tanker, Talara, a Marshall Island flagged ship, it was quietly sailing from the UAE to Singapore, never expected this kind of trouble. But on November 14th, everything changed. The IRGC boats, they appeared fast, silent, and precise. Within minutes, the tanker was surrounded, boarded, and taken into Iranian control. Basically, no warning, no negotiation, just raw power at the sea. It was a message, and Washington understood it instantly. Now, for the next 5 days, the Gulf turned into a chessboard. Iran held the tanker, the US demanded answers, and both the sides watched each other very carefully, knowing that one wrong move could spark a wider conflict here. Inside Washington, Tehran's advisors scrambled. Inside Tehran, the IRGC stood firm. And across the entire region, countries whispered, is this the second Talara incident or something much bigger? Because this wasn't just one ship. It was about control. Control of world's most strategic waterway. You know what? When Iran finally released that ship, it wasn't because of any pressure. It wasn't because they were really afraid of somebody. It was because they wanted to send a dramatic reminder. The IRGC can seize ships, hold ships, and release ships whenever they choose. Now, this unpredictability is exactly what scares the US right now. One day, Iran blocks tankers. Another day, it escorts them out of safety. The signal is very clear. We are in charge here. You know, under Trump, the US has always been trying to project strength in the Gulf. But incidents like this, it exposes a harsh reality. Iran still controls the tempo of the conflict. A single action by IRGC can disrupt the global oil flow, rattle US allies, push Washington into crisis mode, send oil prices spiking, and embarrass the White House. This is the second time Iran has used the Talara tactic. Quick seizure, strategic pressure, controlled release, and it worked again. The release of Talara does not mean tension is over, by the way. If anything, it proves that Iran is willing to push limits, test the patience of US President Donald Trump, and challenge the US dominance at the sea. Today, the tanker is free, but the shockwave it created are still moving across Washington because everybody knows here. If Iran can seize one tanker in 5 minutes, it can seize 10 in 1 hour, and this is the real danger.